What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode. This is Donny Kashh, the Unbreakable Podcast.
Mm.
I have my brother, my friend Graham, and guys, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna pick his brain, see how he gets to do what he does, and why he does what he does. Graham, welcome to the podcast.
Let's go. What's up, everybody? Big up, Stog. Good to see you, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate
Yeah,
you.
yeah, let's get it.
Talk to me. Who is Graham in your
Yeah.
definition? What does he do?
I like to think my purpose is to make other people see their full purpose, if that makes sense. Like I
Mm.
like to see people who have like kind of a vision for themselves where they want to see themselves go, and I like to like help them reach that accomplishment, Like that's something I've seen as my purpose. But as far as what I do every day, I produce like high quality videos for people, podcasting, like different types of business videos, and I really just help people create like high quality content time efficiently, cost efficiently, like in a way that they can afford for a small business in Canada. So we've just been helping a lot of people like build their brands online, discover their personal brand, why it's so important to personal brand, like how to optimize for all the social media platforms, all the SEO things, like even monetizing and like running ads on their programs, like stuff like that. So just across the board, helping people grow online, I think is a good like representation of what I do every day.
Okay, cool. So
Yeah.
where can people find you online?
So I think Instagram's probably the most the place where I'm the most active on Toronto Podcasts, TRONTO podcasts with a S. That's like where we do a lot of our work, for the podcasting stuff. And then personally, I'm just CEO mode at like on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like starting from like the beginning of what you're doing,
Yeah.
especially like working with people, bringing them up to the next level. What got you all started in that? Like, why did you like decide like this is the path, this is what you want to do, this is the career you want to do?
I think what started is me personally wanting to do it for myself, right? Like I was down and out kind of like I didn't really know what I was going to do in life. I was trying to figure it out. I was trying so much different stuff. And like eventually after failing 1,000 times, like one time it did work. And then I got to look back and see what worked and why it worked and like why like things went the way they did. And then from there, I was able to really like capitalize on that and move forward for myself. And then once I started doing that for myself, I realized, wow, everybody's going through a very similar thing where they're aware of what they like to do, but they don't know how to do it, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I think like and having an outside perspective on other people's life is a lot easier than having an introspective on your own life, right? So as an outrospective, I like to give people that perspective on this is what I would do personally. And like they can do it or not do it, but at least I told them. And then that helps
Yeah.
me like feel a bit better about myself too, like trying to help them do better. And then when they do it, to be honest, like it's the best feeling ever to see someone like they had everything that it took. They just weren't aware of what the next step was or what to like even try. And then when they do try it, they follow through, they're consistent, all those things. They fail a few times probably. Then eventually they do hit the success mark, right? And that success is like there's really nothing like it. It's a high. Yo, I'm Scottish, by the way. So Scottish people, we speak first off, we speak broken English, and another thing is we speak fast, bro. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna slow it down for the people. But I heard this thing from 50 Cent I told you earlier. If I'm speaking a little fast, you better listen a little faster to keep up.
It's crazy you say that because I'm Scottish too.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I speak so fast.
I know, bro. Trust me. It's like I don't know what it is to be honest, but I just know it happens for real.
Just get that information out.
Yeah, yo, straight. We're blunt. And then you hear like an English person talk, like no offense to the English people, but they're very slow and like they talk forever like this. It's like, nah, bro, I'm gonna tell you exactly how I feel real quick.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. Honestly, like the podcast, like honestly, like I've seen your growth in the podcast.
Yes.
I've seen the camera changes. I've seen like where
Mm.
it started. Again, like I remember you asking me questions like when you first started, like
Yeah.
where to get started, stuff like that. And I've seen like how how far you've gone and the growth of it. But my main question is like I actually don't even really know is
Mm.
why a podcast? Why a podcast studio?
Mm. Yeah.
What did
It's a
what
good
is the
question.
reason for that?
Yeah. So I think what happened for me is I worked on a television show early, like right out of college. I was behind the scenes on television show. I was doing like social media stuff. And then
So,
yo, if I'm talking a little fast, you should listen a little faster to keep up. But yeah, so right out of college, I was doing social media branding and marketing for a television company, right?
Okay.
And I saw behind the scenes of like how the television show worked. And at the time, I was telling them we should optimize for YouTube as well. At that time, YouTube was popping off, right? So I got to see like how things went behind the scenes of like television, and it made me realize like I could probably do this exact same thing, but just at a much lower cost because they have so many team members, like especially with television, like there's so many check marks they have to check first before it goes live, right? So I was thinking like I could create something very similar to this with a much lower budget. And then at the time I also had a few like camera gears, camera lenses, lights and stuff. So I was helping a friend of mine in this studio with his like back end business stuff, like websites booking. And then I told him like, bro, I'm gonna rent a podcast studio. Like I want to start one. And then we were using this space that you see here as just like an event space, photography space kind of thing. I was like, bro, I should just rent right here. I should just be in the studio with you, and then I can just, instead of pay some random person rent, I can just pay you rent kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then it all kind of worked out. And then the reason why I thought it would be valuable and that it would work, it was definitely risky at the time because I was one of the first ones to kind of pop up over here. But the reason why I knew it would be valuable for businesses is because I saw the amount of money businesses were spending on this exact type of content. Like
Yeah.
they were spending thousands of dollars. They'd have full-time employees. They'd have all these people, three at a time behind each camera with headphones on, like all working on one project. And for me, like I'm a kind of mathematical guy. Like when I see three people, I'm adding up their salaries and I'm adding up how much they cost per hour. And I'm thinking in my head, like, okay, this studio, as far as like in the past when I saw them working, it would definitely cost like at least like $3,500 a day or like a couple thousand
Wow.
dollars. Yeah, because there's three people, there's all these cameras, like then all the editing back then there wasn't AI and stuff, so it would take a lot longer. So all of that added up in my head, and I was like, yeah, I could do this for like 30% of that cost, or like 10% of that cost, or whatever the cost difference is.
Some big brain shit.
Yeah, some big brain shit. And then from there, I was like, okay, cool. I already had a little bit of the equipment. So the risk was more into the growth of the business. Like I did buy a lot more equipment too, and I did risk that. But at the same time, like the risk for me wasn't necessarily the equipment. The risk was in the amount of time and money to be spent on growing it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So like I already had the equipment. You can see in our earlier clips, like the quality
For
wasn't as
sure.
good as this. But yeah, so then I had like 3 months of rent and 3 months of like just time to spend on like growing it, and I just went all in, bro. I literally sold my car and everything and just like spent all my, not all my life savings, but like pretty much, you know what I mean? Just burned through it. I racked up credit cards and did all that. And then I just in my head knew like the value for businesses, I'm going to provide the same service that they would spend thousands of dollars on for like a fraction of that. And then from there, I offered it. It's funny because I texted a bunch of people, like the most interesting people I know, right? And I was like, oh, by the way, I created a content studio. I want to interview you here. And I was trying to get people to come in like so I could interview them to just show what I could do. And none of them came, bro. Not one, not one.
Wow.
Yeah. So then in my head, I'm like, oh shit, I just spent all this money. Like I'm all in on this. Like I can't even believe it. And then I had a phone call with a friend, and I'm like, yeah, I'm building a podcast studio. He's like, bro, we had a podcast studio for time. Like we've been had a podcast studio. Like
Wow.
just making me feel kind of like, oh, bro, like what you're doing is not special, like all that shit. And people were saying stuff like this to me. And I was just like, oh man, like, like it hurt a little bit, but at the same time, like I was already all in. I don't have a choice. I'm the type of guy when I do something, I'm all in on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just go all in. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna give this 3 months, and I did. I gave it 3 months. I remember the first time I got a booking on the calendar, like from a random person without calling me or anything. It was a lawyer. He's a sick lawyer, by the way. Shout out Ryan. He came and he told just a funny story on the pod, and it was just like the first real dope podcast that we shot. As well as shout out to David because he was the first guy to ever call me. Once I ran my first ads, he was the first guy to call me. Like literally within 20 minutes of my first
Wow.
ad, phone call, boom, him, and he's a really great guy, and he has got a cool son too. They're going viral, bro. Like literally just hit 1 million this week. But yeah, the real reason I just went on a huge tangent, but the real reason that I built the podcast studio was just because I saw the value in what I was able to provide, and I knew that I could provide the same value that people were spending multi-thousand dollars on at a time for a few $100s at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was just one of those things, and that's why I feel like a lot of people flock to me because they realize the efficiency is there. And for me, I believe in lean businesses. I believe in efficient businesses, efficient things in general. So that's kind of what I did. I optimized for efficiency, which then that also allows like my customers and clients to benefit from that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's crazy, like when you first started it, like hearing that, like you're like all excited to get it going and stuff like that, and like you're asking all your friends, like yo, and like these big business people, and like yo, like I'm starting a new podcast, let's get it going, and like none of them show up. It's like so like
Yeah.
that must have been like again, like I understand like you're excited because like when you're excited for something, you feel like everybody around you should be excited for it as well. And when you didn't get that and they didn't show up for it, like how did you feel and like what made you keep going and just like realizing like I can just keep still do it?
Yeah. It's funny, like, I don't know. You know how it is, bro. Like when you're all in on something, as much as people can hurt you and like tell you that you're not gonna do it or whatever, make you feel like you're not good enough for this, like that is painful, but it's not painful enough to stop you. You know what I mean? Like it
Mm-hmm.
didn't stop me. It just made me feel like, oh shit, like damn, like I better try it twice as hard then. If they're all telling me this is gonna fail, they're all telling me this is nothing special, they're all telling me all these things. in my head, I'm like, oh shit, that means I have to make it special. That means I have to do like the extra work. I gotta go like through every. I literally studied every podcast studio in the world. It was like, oh, what do they do that's interesting? Like I copied some of their systems. I like implemented some of the things I saw them do, you know, as far as how they grew their studio, like different, like as well as the camera thing. Like I knew that I liked Sony, but I didn't understand exactly which lenses. I had to do all that research. I had to figure out every little
Mhm.
thing. And then I had to match it across each camera because I want all of them to look the same. Like very small things. And then how to run all that back and then how to store all of that. Like there's just a lot of intricate details, right? So I did all that research and then over time I was like, okay, cool. Like now I feel like I got it in a good pattern. And from there, then I was able to like optimize more and really like focus on how to improve like the quality of content for the people, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And again, like, I know you like you said you're all in and like this is nothing to do it, but like sometimes like what kept you going keep going like forward? Like, cause like obviously like again, like people's like you're doing these certain things and like I get it where like you don't get all the love you want to get and stuff like that on it.
Mm,
And sometimes like there's times you're like, yeah, I want to quit.
dog. Yeah,
Or
for sure.
like, and I can imagine like I could like I seen like what you've been going through and stuff like that. Not saying it was like crazy, anything like hard and stuff like that, but like I've watched your up and downs and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like, what really made you like, no, like we're keep going, we gotta keep going. Like this is
Mm,
not it. Like this is it.
yeah. I think the main thing is going all in on something, you have no other choice, right? Like if I did have another choice, picture I had another choice this whole time, like a cushy job or something, or some way to like kind of make myself be okay, like no matter what. Like that would have stopped me from having so much drive. Because really my drive is behind survival.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I have 3 months to live. You know, I have 3 months of food, literally like eggs in the fridge, like trying to survive off that. And I was like, I need to make this work. If I don't make it work, then I have to go do some job that I probably won't like, or I have to do something that I'm just not proud of, or whatever. Like, so in my head, I had no other option. And then, so every time I did feel like, oh shit, like I should probably quit, like in my head, I'm like, quit and do what? Like, quit and do what,
Mm.
man? Am I gonna quit and go just work like I came from the finance world. I worked on finance companies and shit. And like, yeah, it was good and on paper it looked good. And yeah, my mom was happy for me that I was making a decent salary and stuff. But like the truth is, was I happy inside? Like absolutely not. You know, I would wake up in the mornings like, damn, what am I even doing here? Like, am I proud of this? What am I gonna be like in 50 years? I'd ask myself these questions, right? And then yeah, what kept me going was just like just knowing I don't have another choice, bro. Like, you
Mm.
know? And if it wasn't this, it's going to be something like this. It's just I'm just going to keep moving forward, you know? And yeah, like thankfully that type of mindset helped me get through it. But I'll be honest, like it took me a long time to learn that mindset. And I feel like if we can, like we have to train ourselves, retrain ourselves if we've taught ourselves differently in the past, right? And that's what I did. I retrained myself to pretty much be like, there's no other way out. Like this is the only way, make it work.
So how did you create that mindset? Like, what are some of the tools that you used and like the
Mm,
things that you did to create that mindset that like can allow you to keep pushing on? Because I know there's a lot of people out there like are at that level where like, they just want to quit and like they're done with what they're doing. They
mm,
tried it, but like they what can you give them and what inspirations can you give them that can keep them going and like you know what
yeah.
I mean?
I think something that I believe is that just don't be afraid to hit rock bottom. Like don't actually be afraid of it. Cuz like the truth is you're always going to grow from it. Like it's a place where you can only grow from, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like we need to some in some cases, this is kind of like crazy advice, but risk it all. Risk going broke, risk hitting rock bottom because chances are you will bounce off of it.
You can
But
make it
what
back.
yeah, once you bounce off of it, you learn all the lessons you need in life. And from there, you literally just grow forever. And there will be dips here and there, but you'll never hit rock bottom again. So really hitting rock bottom was a good thing. As much as like I don't want to see people hit rock bottom, it's terrible. But the truth is when you grow from it, like it's going to change your life forever, right? So I wouldn't say hit rock bottom on purpose by any means, but I would say risk it all in like in a way that yeah, you could hit rock bottom. Like don't be afraid of rock bottom, you
Yeah.
know? And that like after hitting rock bottom, it showed me so much, bro. Like literally every lesson I needed. From there, like honestly, it's been up ever since.
So someone that's want to create a podcast, whoever's listening there, Miami,
Yeah.
Florida, freaking Dubai,
Yeah.
what advice can you give them that's gonna like not allow them to maybe hit that rock bottom that you hit?
Yeah, for sure. I would say building relationships is so key, right? And like the tech and the efficiency, like there's so many aspects to it, but I think the the thing that really like kept me going and what helped me build from the very beginning is I didn't just build a podcast studio, I built a community. The
Mhm.
community we have is like the strongest community, really. Like everybody's down for each other, they're liking each other's pictures, commenting on everything,
Yeah.
sharing people's stuff. Like they all follow each other back, like all that kind of stuff. We have events, they come together, they collaborate on their each of their podcasts. Like the views and the likes and the shares like between everyone in the community is enough to really boost the algorithm to help everyone grow to people who are outside the community. So it's like once you have that internal core of people, like that really is what helps you grow. So and as well as for the podcast studio, those people are telling their friends. And I heard
Yes.
this quote in business. It's like if you have a good experience, you tell 3 people. If you have a bad experience, you tell 10 people. Right. So it's like as long as I keep giving good experiences and taking good care of people, making sure everything's proper, they're gonna keep telling 3 people.
Mhm.
Right. And then the key is to not really do any bad experiences because one bad experience they're gonna tell 10 people, right? But
Yes.
that's why I think the white glove treatment and like the service that you provide your customers is like one of the most important things. Like I heard another quote from a friend who comes here, and he said that if you treat someone's issue like it's a big deal, then they won't treat it like a big deal. But if you treat someone's issue like, oh, no big deal, then they'll make it a big deal. Right. So it's
Mhm.
like no matter what issue your customers have, like make it a big deal. Like make it like, yo, I will never do that again. Like I will refund you right now. Like I will figure this out for you. And then they will be like,
Yes.
oh, bro, it's no big deal, man. Like you're going crazy over this. Like I appreciate you, but like this no big deal. But
Yeah.
picture you had the same issue, and I'm like, oh man, that's no big deal. Like whatever. Like then they'd be like, bro, this is a big deal. This is my business we're talking about. This is my brand, you know?
Yeah.
So my key is that I go the extra mile. All that stuff that people say, oh, that's so much work. Like, yo, I do that. Like, why wouldn't I do that? I'm gonna do that. And that's what sets you apart because
Mhm.
everyone I've realized does the bare minimum. So if you just do a little bit more, you go that little extra step, like you're in the top 10%. You know what I mean?
No. No, I definitely agree when you said, like, the community you've created has been very beautiful. I remember that one night we had together where we
Yeah, it
could
was
all
great.
meet the other people that are, like, been on your podcast and stuff
Yeah,
like that. That was super cool. So, like, I the community is for sure real that you've created,
yeah,
and the people around it, we're all liking each other's stuff, which is really cool for, like, a podcast place because I don't feel like you see that or get that from other podcast places where
yeah,
you just go and you're done and that's it. Where basically like there's other people just growing from each other and we're all like liking each other's stuff, so it's so cool.
yeah.
But my question for you is that like, what is the stuff that people need to create their own podcast? Like, what
Like
is like,
equipment wise?
yeah, equipment rise? Because I know you've started with from very minimal equipment
Yes.
to now the equipment that you have now, like, walk me through the stages of certain equipment, like, at certain levels that you're at, because I feel like you're at your very top right now.
Mm,
You're doing amazing, like, you're at the very top in Toronto, you're the biggest podcast in Toronto
thank you, bro.
for people. What is it like to start at the bottom? Like, what equipment do you can start for the bottom, and what is right now? Like, what are we working with?
Yeah. So I think in the beginning, the main thing is start, right? No matter what you have. Like even if it's literally an iPhone, just start. Like it's not a big deal. You just got to get rolling. And then so from there, like what I did is I just started. I had a Sony A6500 in the beginning, like a super old one. Just I had it because I shot random content. I used it as a webcam and stuff. And
Mhm.
then from there, I had a few lights and stuff. So I wanted to buy like very similar cameras. So I bought A64s, which are a little bit newer. And then from there, I used like I created all of the same ones. So I made sure all of them were identical and all the lenses were identical. For that, it was the Sigma 18 to 50 millimeter, right? And the quality was, to be honest, good on those cameras. Like it was still great. It's the APS-C lens though, so it's not full frame. And then from there, I was like, okay, cool. Like I was studying what other podcast studios were doing, and I was
Like,
studying the best Sony cameras.
what mics were you using at the beginning?
To be honest, the mics I did go buy like straight up. I was like, yo, what's the best mic in the industry right now? There's two. There's the
You went
SM7B.
all in for the
I went in
mics.
all in on the mics because I heard a quote too, and it was like, if you watch a video and it has good quality video but bad audio, you're gonna get off it right away. Like most people are
Cool.
just like, yo, audio's bad, I'm out. But if you have good audio and bad video, the person will stay.
Do you think that people could use wireless mics to start their podcast at the beginning?
I honestly, with today's technology, think you could. Like we talked about this earlier. We showed like all the wireless mics we have here in the
Mhm.
studio, and like they're great, bro. Like they're phenomenal quality. Every
And
time I use them, I'm like, yo, these are good.
and what are those prices going like?
Those are less than $500, bro, for literally two wireless mics. Less than five hundred
I think
dollars.
I've seen one on Amazon that was really good for 80, about 80 bucks.
Yeah, bro, literally those are. And the only thing about those I notice is they peak really easy. Like you can peak on them, and that like would
Fair
be bad.
enough.
I would say for people who are gonna invest, like just like I said earlier about the go the extra mile, like just get a little bit better than the lowest. Like there's the lowest, they're like
Mhm.
30 to 80 bucks, whatever. But like if you just even step it up to the Holly Lands, like we talked about, those little ones,
Yes.
those are phenomenal. And bro, I don't know the exact price, but those are pretty well priced to be honest.
$8.
Oh, those are the 80 ones? Yeah, then
Yes.
bro, I would start with those 100% because those are pretty good, bro, honestly.
Mhm.
Yeah, like we listened to the video you shot with them and
Yeah.
the audio was great. So yeah.
And then, like, when people are, like, trying to get into the lighting in the beginning, like,
Yes. Lighting is
what kind of
key.
lighting can you offer them? Like, what should they
Yeah.
get? Like, how many soft boxes? How
Mhm.
many lights?
I started with 2 soft boxes, just like the normal newer ones. I think they were like literally $200 or something for both. Like it was like
Okay.
maybe each, I'm not sure, but like they were not crazy expensive lights, you know? And then I ended up going with these ones. I think they're the GVM like 100s or some stuff.
Mhm.
And I got 2 of them, right? So then I can light each subject. So like just to like if we go over the lighting in the studio real quick, this is like important. Had to learn this. Is like so we have our surface lights, right? Like the subject lights. Those are lighting us.
Yes.
And then after that, we have our hair lights. So those are above us, and that's lighting on the top of our head, right? Just
Okay.
gives us like a 3D vibe. And then there's a light behind us, which gives us the pop, right? That's the background lights. So now
Mm.
we have our subject lights, hair lights, background lights, and that's what gives us this like 3D vibe. So that's important. Like in the past, what I used to do back in the day, you would literally just have a light in front of you,
Yes.
like maybe a light behind you if you're lucky, like just randomly, like you wouldn't even set it up like that. It just happens, you
So
know?
so lighting is very key then
Bro,
for
lighting is
podcasts.
literally so key. I always tell people the biggest jump in the studio was lighting. Like once
Yeah.
I upgraded the lighting, I was like, oh damn, like this is how it's supposed to look, you know? And then from there, all like to be honest, lenses. Lenses are so important. Like get the best lenses you can. Like whatever bodies you got in your camera, cool. Get the body, that's fine. Get the best one you can. But make sure your lenses are proper. Don't be using like kit lenses, you
True.
know? Yeah.
And then, like, also comes, like, now to, like, how are people recording? Like, where's the information? Like, how are they putting the videos? Are they just recording on
Mm,
their camera? How
yeah.
are they getting the vocals into the camera? How are they matching it up? What is that step? Because, like, I remember when I first tried to start a podcast,
Yeah.
I was so lost.
So what we do with the audio, right, is like we have a few audios running at once. All the audios are running at once. Earlier before we started, I clapped the slate. The slate, what it does, it creates a click. The
Mhm.
click goes to all the mics and all the cameras. So
Okay.
then when I go into Adobe later or DaVinci or whatever program people use, you just literally highlight all of those files, sequence, boom, all sequenced,
Mm.
all goes to that click. So that's why today I clapped it a few times actually, because I wanted all the cameras and all the mics to hear the same sounds in sequence,
Multiple clicks.
multiple clicks. So then when it goes into Adobe or whatever editing program, it just knows exactly like how to line up all the audio and all the video. And then from there I just crop it to where we start and then cut that earlier part off and it's ready. But I do actually just check a few times. You can see like the audio like waves of each thing. I just match those up too, like make sure because sometimes the sequence might be like one frame off or something. You just want to
Fair enough.
just like make a little adjustment, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, when people like are trying to put this stuff out into the world, into the
Yeah.
universe, how are we gonna like be able to get like the most views and like how should people like, be able to like start their podcast or like say like they don't want to film it, they don't want to be a person that runs the podcast. They're a person that's now you just taught them of like what they should like know and what they need when they go to a podcast studio
Yeah.
or if they're creating their own podcast studio. But now we want to get the podcast onto into the world.
Yeah.
Instagram, TikTok,
Mhm.
onto Spotify, onto the actual places where like people can put they listen to your podcast.
Yeah.
What is the whole process in that? Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so there's two things that I see people do, right? There's one is a distribution platform, and that allows you to get your podcast on all the platforms right away. Like you can put it on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, podcast, everything. Like that is just done on one platform, right? And then there's social media. Social media is a whole nother thing. Some
Mhm.
people use schedulers, but as we both know, like sometimes the algorithm doesn't like schedulers. So you can actually schedule within the platforms nowadays. You can go and schedule it. But even posting organically, if you have the time to do it, it works the best, right? But so what I've seen is that we create a lot of social media clips, like the short clips that we see.
Mhm.
That's where we've seen most of our views is in those short clips. So as long as you have some of those clips, then you can take that and kind of schedule it out for the month. So what I personally think is you got to find like a schedule that works with you and your brand and your target demographic and just stick to it. So for instance, like Mondays at 6 o'clock. Like that's when I drop Mondays at 6 o'clock. And every Monday at 6 o'clock, that's when your YouTube episode comes out or your podcast or whatever.
Okay.
And then from there, you have your social media that's like every single day at 5 o'clock or every single day at 9 p.m. or whatever, like a time that you, because you can study the analytics and see what times are the best. Just pick the
Yes.
best time when your people are the most active and post every single day at that time. And then eventually the algorithm will be like, that's his time. Like when that comes out, that's your
Oh, so
time.
you're really like you're basically telling the algorithm this is when we're doing it.
Yep,
This is when you should push it.
exactly.
So basically showing consistency. You need to be consistent.
Consistency is literally like the key to success in every industry and every facet of life. For sure,
Mm.
100%.
When people actually want to get their stuff pushed, do you believe in the meta boosts,
Oh, for
or
sure.
do you feel like people should just only be organic?
No, I believe in the boost 100%. Like
Why?
these
Why?
these platforms are pay to play, just like a video game, anything in life. Like things are pay to play. The same reason, like, back in the day, we used to crack softwares, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we would go and get all the free softwares. Well, the truth is, you don't get the updates, you don't get all the benefits, So now I pay for my software. Why? Because I'm getting the newest version. I'm on the newest everything, the newest Adobe, the newest this, the newest that. It's right there. And I get the new AI upgrades and all this stuff. That makes my workflow better, which gives a better service to my clients. Paying $100 a month rather than getting it for free is making me more money, right?
True.
So like making sure we optimize for all these things and like get like, so my key point here is that when you're on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and Twitter and all the social media platforms, like pay for some ads, even if it's not a lot. Like even if it's $1 a day, that's $30 a month. $1 a day, like that may get you 100 followers a month.
Mm.
That's 1,200 followers a year. And that will snowball, right? If it's 10% of your following, it's going up 10%. When you're at 10,000, you're going up 1,000 a month. And then you're going up,
Wow.
you're at 100,000, you're going up 10,000 a month, right? It's like the snowball grows. And as that snowball grows, hopefully you make more money. And when you make more money, you put more money into your ads, which makes you grow
Mm.
faster. Like it's all a snowball. We just got to start at the level we feel comfortable with. And to be honest, I don't believe in comfortability. You should start at the level that you can afford to. Even if you're not comfortable with it, just do it. And it's like you got to have a good system. But as long as you have a good system, the money will come back. Money is a
Yeah.
current. It's a currency. You flow with the money. As soon as you hold it and don't,
Flow.
as soon as you're not flowing, you're losing because the money's being printed and you're not making it.
No flow, no grow.
No flow, no grow, bro. Real talk.
So speaking of like what you're talking about, like oh, I fucking smack that shit. Speaking of like that, using like the branding and stuff of that,
Yeah.
how can businesses use a podcast and then also use the boosting to build their actual brand and actually create more like business for themselves?
Yeah, that's a great question, bro. I tell people this all the time. There's so many ways, really. Like, there's a few ways. I'll label the ones I think are most effective. First is lead generation. Like, picture you and I right now. We sell hotels as an example, right? We
Okay.
sell hotels. Like,
Habbo Hotel.
yeah, we sell. Yo, picture like I am trying to buy Habbo Hotel or I'm trying to sell Habbo Hotel, right? I got to talk to the owner somehow, right? Like for me to pick up the phone and cold call him, I have no real reason to have a conversation with him. He's just gonna pick it up and be like, "Who's this? You're trying to sell me stuff?" I get 1,000 of these calls. He probably won't even pick it up. But you know what? If I did this a different way, I emailed him or his assistant or whatever, and I say, "Hey, by the way, I'm in the hotel industry. I create content about owning and selling hotels. What if we could have a conversation? I'll create clips. I'll take care of all the production. I just want to talk to you for 30 minutes about hotels." Now I get him in the studio for 30 minutes and I ask him all the questions I need. I'm going to learn a lot from him. I'm also going to get to know him. I'm going to ask him pain points. I'm going to ask him things that help him in his business. Then at the end of that, I'm like, wow, now that I've learned everything about you, I know exactly how to sell to you. I know exactly how we can further this relationship that we're building. And then from there, you make your offers. You already know what your systems are. And then now you've acquired a new client. And even though the production cost may have cost you, even if it was $1,000 for the day, that client now with selling a hotel, especially if you're making a percentage on commission, you're gonna make 100 grand off that or whatever, right? Like the
Mm.
percentage has got to make sense. But if the percentage makes sense, you're that's lead generation, right? You're building relationships for your community. And like in certain industries, that's a lot. Like if you're a mortgage broker, you're selling expensive stuff, insurance, all these things, each client is worth thousands and thousands of dollars, if not millions. So just that lead acquisition, the lead generation, that's a huge part of podcasting, building relationships. The other one is humanizing your brand, right? Like humanizing the brand, showing transparency, showing the passion behind the project, showing the reason that you're doing this, the vision, the mission, all that stuff. That's the most important part of a brand. Like, why am I supporting this company? Because I believe in what it's trying to do, right? So how do you get that message across? In the past, people would create Canva infographics and like pictures of themselves at a table with like a caption. Like that just doesn't effectively communicate to your audience. the way to effectively communicate is what we're doing right now. This is a humanized conversation. We're
Yeah.
literally humans. Like, yeah, AI can do this one day, but it's not doing this yet. And it's not speaking from the heart like we can, you know? So the key is to position yourself in a way where you're talking from the heart about your brand and your business. And if you can do that in a way that makes people realize what your true mission is, then hopefully they want to get behind it. If you have a good mission or a good vision, right? So that's
Mhm.
something I think is very valuable when it comes to the content. Yeah.
So podcasts are obviously definitely it.
Yeah.
Getting that information out is it.
Yeah.
Teaching people is definitely it.
I agree 100%.
What do you feel is like been the main part of your success doing podcasts and stuff like that? What do you mean is feel like is the main key factor that got you to like where you are right now?
Yeah. I think risk, like persistence, perseverance, consistency. Um, I also think like just studying, right? Like there's a good saying from the military. My dad taught me this. It's like proper preparation prevents poor performance, the 5 Ps, right? Like the 5 Ps are so helpful, bro. Like literally before this podcast, we did a little bit of prep and it's
Yeah.
going way better than if we didn't, right? And like before the gym, what do? You prep for the gym. Like even stretching before the gym is considered like preparation, right? Like the amount of preparation that we can do, it's just going to make the experience better in every case. Like picture you have a girlfriend, you want to go on a date, you got to pick the place before, you got to get fresh before, you got to do all this stuff before, right? That's preparation. It's going to make the date so much better. If you didn't do that, you just show up like, ah, whatever. I don't even know what we're going to do. Like I just pulled up, like whatever. It's going to make the date awful, you know? So whatever you're going to do in life, like I think a little bit of preparation, nothing crazy, but like just whatever you can afford to do before, prepare for it. You know what I mean? Because that preparation will help you go the extra mile when it comes to actually getting down to like surviving, making a business grow, anything that you're doing in life.
Speaking of preparation,
Yeah,
how do you prepare before every podcast?
yeah,
So say like there's a podcast owner that this is their first episode. They
yeah,
finally got their first client to come in. How would you advise them to prepare, mic wise, camera wise,
yeah.
greeting the client? Talk to
That's
me.
a great question, bro. So what I did personally is I set up a little bit of a checklist when people book. So it tells me a few things. It tells me like how many people are going to be on camera. It tells me what color they want the background. It tells me all like these little intricate details. So I have that prepped before they even come in the studio. So it's
Okay.
like the lights already the color they want. The mics are already set for this many people. Everything's like ready to go, to be honest. Then I just put a little music on in the background, get some water bottles out, like just small stuff like that. Like when they come in, the vibe's good. If it's like for me, I listen to some like dance hall kind of like reggae music, like Afro beats kind of vibes. Those are all just like uplifting, you know? Like I like
Mhm.
to have some uplifting music. When you come in, it's like, oh man, like people are always like, yo, the vibe's good in here. Like I don't know what it is, the vibes are good. And because the lighting's good, the music is good. Like I'll spray a little Febreze, whatever. I have the apple cinnamon Febreze. It smells like apple cinnamon. Like all these small things, bro. It's like when you come in, you're like, damn. And then thankfully we're in a beautiful space, right? So you come into a beautiful space as well. That helps. Like tall ceilings, like brick walls, like cool. It's a cool atmosphere. And then I tell them a little history about the building. Yeah, this is what happened. Like even if you're not in that, just give people a little bit of a story when they come in. Like this is why we're here. This is what we do. And I have a little wall of fame with some of the first people that ever come to the studio. I show them that. I'm like, yo, this is a diverse atmosphere you're in. Like Toronto is the most diverse city on earth. Like I show them all the different languages, all the different people. I'm like, yo, this is who we've had. When I give people this like little bit of an introduction to the studio, every single time they're like, wow, this is cool, man. I like this. And then after I'm like, yeah, chances are like they're going to enjoy the experience so much that they're going to tell a friend about it or they're going to come back. And like every single time they come back, they know this is what I can expect. And I try to keep that consistent too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I guess when people see the consistency of it when they come in here, they know what they're getting right away.
Yeah.
They've seen other videos, and
That's true.
that's also come parts of the community you created.
Yeah.
Like if you didn't create the community, people wouldn't even see all the different clips that you're posting. And like obviously everybody that comes here, most people are gonna try to collaborate or they're gonna like tag you in those videos,
Yeah.
which your Instagram has been mainly about, which is you've created a lot of clips.
Yeah, bro.
And you created like I've seen that little kid.
Yes.
I,
Yes. Rory,
holy, you guys have been hitting millions.
bro, millions.
That's been so crazy, and like, it's just so
Yeah.
beautiful that you've been able to create that with people
Yes.
and create experiences for these clients where maybe they wouldn't have gotten these views if they didn't come here.
Yeah. That's insane when you
You
put
know
it
what I
like that.
mean?
Yeah. It's crazy, right?
Like
It's dope.
that's how I really see it,
Yeah. It's cool.
and I've really seen the studio grow. And every time I come
Yeah.
here, I see it change. The cameras change. You're like, yo, I got this new thing. I got this new
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah. Hmm.
and it's so cool because like you really invested into yourself and you
Yeah.
really put yourself out there. And like you said, like you went all in.
Did, yeah.
You honestly really did.
Mhm.
And I'm so like thankful for you being in my life and like
Yeah.
for this experience being able to do this because this is something I've always wanted to do. So like
Yeah.
been able to be able to help you and guide you in certain ways, but like you've done
Mhm.
this mainly by yourself
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you.
and you've been fucking absolutely killing it.
Yeah, bro. Gotta kill it.
And you're making some very good some good moolah,
Yeah.
getting some good clients. You're meeting some crazy people, and there's probably a lot of experiences that you're like learning and like you're sitting there listening to these podcasts. Like you're probably like you're getting some information for free. So like
For sure, bro.
I feel like that's another good reason too, as a person who's trying to create their podcast studio and like do as Graham has done,
Yeah.
is like basically yeah, because like you're getting free information. I seen your Instagram and how everything is laid out. Like it's so much free information there.
Bro, so much information.
So much free information.
I
Like you know
always
what I
say
mean?
that too. I'm like, yo, I'm the first viewer of every podcast in the studio. So I'm
Yeah.
viewing everyone's podcast first. And like that is helpful because naturally we do watch podcasts anyway, and we're always learning something. So if I'm learning something from every single person, I just had a random thought. If you had every single, like, picture every single person on earth was able to communicate all their thoughts to every single person on earth without saying a word. Like we all just could communicate every thought in our head. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and it was between every person on earth. Like, picture how much shit we would know. We would
It'd be
know
crazy. It'd
everything,
be
bro.
crazy.
We would know everything. Every single mind on earth shared into one mind. Like that's what we were trying to accomplish by sharing our thoughts, sharing our words. Like when we were kids growing up, you didn't necessarily have so many perspectives. You didn't have so many different people being
Yeah,
able to communicate to you. Like now we're in a place where we can communicate like so effectively and to so many people at once with just this conversation. So
for
like
sure.
that is a beautiful thing in itself.
I feel like a lot of people should definitely get into the podcast era
Yeah,
because like there's you have so many people have so many beautiful
they
informations
do. Everyone
and
does.
like just knowing certain things and like everybody has like a reason they're on this planet.
Yes.
Personally, that's what I believe
I
in.
believe it too. Yeah.
And they've learned certain things for a reason. And I feel like they've gone through either traumatic situations.
Yeah.
They're very smart and they just learned a lot of different things. Even if they came from the streets and they got out of that life,
Yep.
there is so much to teach.
Yes.
And I feel like a lot of people should start getting into the podcast and start like and I know there's a lot of people out there that want to get into podcasting. And they feel like just I feel like they just get it started, get it going because there's so much they can teach people and there's so much they can get from it. And they're gonna create a community, whatever they're getting the podcast done at. They're gonna get information out there. They're gonna interview people. They're gonna learn some information. They're gonna get some free game, and they're gonna help a lot of people out that they don't realize they're not gonna help people out, even if they get 100 views. Do you know what a room looks like with 100
I was
people?
thinking the same
You
thing.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
even if you 100 people, like you helped 100 people out.
Yeah.
You did your thing.
You got
And
60 views, bro. 60 people. 60 people. That would fill the studio.
yes,
You know what I mean? Yeah.
This studio right now will be packed.
With 60 people viewing. Yeah.
Yes.
100%, bro. So you get 1,000 views. Like, holy shit, 1,000
Yeah.
people. Bro, that's insane. Like, we're talking about 1,000,000 views on a clip. Like, bro, 1,000,000 people. Like, has there ever been a 1,000,000 person concert? I'm pretty sure there has, but like you see those crowds, bro. It literally goes
Yes.
for miles of people. Like that video specifically has 69,000 shares.
Yeah.
70,000 shares, bro. Like what? Like, and that's the capability too. I've seen a few podcasts that literally have like 1,000 followers
Mhm.
get 1,000,000 views on a clip. 1,000 followers, less than 1,000. There was one that had 350 followers, got 1,000,000 views, 1.2 million. Actually, to be honest, someone reposted the same clip. It got another 2 million. So it was like the clip did 3 million views.
Crazy.
Yeah, and it's a podcast that had 300 followers. Now it has more than that because it grew pretty quick. But the truth is, very early in that podcast career, it hit 1 million easily. You know, so it could
So
really happen to anyone.
So that person that wants to start their podcast,
Yeah.
what are you gonna tell them right now?
I would say like just do some research first, right? Like have a theme, have an idea of what you want to portray. Like I think just knowing how you want to set it up is important because
Mm,
if you just get on camera, like we've gotten on camera so many times with no like motive, we're just here just vibing, which
yeah.
is fun, but the truth is, did it accomplish really anything? It really did show people what we can do, which was the main point of
Yes.
it. But the truth is, like we have a lot more capability. Like we could definitely help a lot. We could definitely say a lot of stuff that's important. I feel like we're doing that today.
Mhm.
But like for anyone, like what is your like mission, right? What's your vision, like, and as well as what's your expertise, what are you good at? Like use all of these questions, and like even if you have to run it through AI and see what it tells you to say and act or do or whatever in your podcast, like just use that as guidance and just kind of line it up in a way where it's like, okay, I want to talk about this industry, I want to ask these type of questions. I want to have this type of person on my podcast. I want to like like this kind of theme, like this kind of question at the end. Like these questions I think should be answered before you even start. Once you have an idea like that, just get started right away. Just jump right in. Even if you're doing it like off a microphone with a shitty camera, just do it, you know? And
Yeah.
then once you get to a point where you can invest, like in there's two things I would invest in. One is your production. Make sure the production looks stupid fire, like really good production. And the other thing is just the promotion. Like do a
Yeah.
little promotion for yourself. Production and promotion. And then from there, like you're gonna grow. Then study what works, study what doesn't, do what works, stop doing what doesn't, you know? And then study your analytics. And then once you have a good number, potentially reach out to sponsors, see what brand deals you can get. Yeah.
So Graham, I really appreciate you
Yeah, bro.
being on this podcast. Thank you so much for the information. Is there anything that you want to leave the audience with?
I would just say like every single person who watches this has so much potential. If you're watching this, you have so much potential. Like make sure you tap into that potential. And people aren't going to believe you in the beginning. No one's going to believe in you until it works. So even if it's not working, just keep trying, keep learning,
Mhm.
keep improving. Eventually, you will be so good at what you're doing that there will be no other option than success. So whatever your potential is, whatever you're interested in, whatever passion you have, just like dial in, lock in, learn as much as you can, study the greats. Like whatever it is, just do it. Like it's not going to be comfortable. Like being fat is not easy. Being rich is not easy. Being like no matter what you choose, it's not going to be easy. So just do it. Expect the hard times. They're going to happen no matter what and embrace them, you know? Embrace the journey.
Yeah,
Just like soak it up, man, cuz we only have one life, right? Like the bad times just make you appreciate the good times. You know what I mean? So
for
whatever
sure.
it is, just go after it. Like really go all in and try your best. And then surround yourself with people that are good for you too. Cause like naturally when I'm screwing up and I'm not doing well, I know I can talk to my real friends and they're gonna help me through it. So a good circle, a good
Mhm.
vision, and just dial in, lock in, just get it done, right? Just never give up, real talk.
That's love.
Yeah, bro.
Appreciate you, bro. Of
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me, bro. Appreciate you.
course.